Now, the administration is dismantling the Food and Drug Administration. And we are sitting here, and members on both sides of the aisle are asking questions of industry-funded groups about how the FDA is going to protect public health from medicines and food, while the secretary is firing thousands of FDA employees.
Hey everyone, welcome back to True Voice, where we speak truth to power, defend democracy, and fight for working families across this great country. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you're returning, thank you for being part of the movement. Today's video is about something that should shake every American to their core. We're reacting to a congressional hearing clip, and let me just say, Representative Melanie Stansbury of New Mexico did not come to play. She came armed with facts, integrity, and a fierce defense of the American people. So let's watch the video.
Chair now recognizes Ms. Stansbury from New Mexico.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to ask a quick question. This is the Oversight Committee, correct? Mm-hmm. That's right. We're in the Oversight Committee. So I have to say I found this to be a very bizarre committee hearing, because here we are in oversight, and our job is to conduct oversight over the administration because of the separation of powers between Congress and the executive branch. And right now, the administration is dismantling the Food and Drug Administration. And we are sitting here, and members on both sides of the aisle are asking questions of industry-funded groups about how the FDA is going to protect public health from medicines and food, while the secretary is firing thousands of FDA employees. In fact, just this last week, they announced they were firing 3,500 members of FDA, and RFK Jr. announced that he was going to fire 10,000 HHS employees across the entire agency. So my question is, if this is the Oversight Committee, why are we not conducting oversight over the administration and their mass firings and the actual deconstruction of the exact agency that's supposed to protect the public health? That is what we should be doing right now in this hearing room. So I find it very bizarre that many of my friends across the aisle are asking, how these folks are going to protect the public health, because they're not, because they're dismantling and taking out the top experts who do this work. Now, some of my colleagues have already pointed out that one of the top vaccinologists, not just in the United States, but in the world, Dr. Peter Marks, was forced to resign. And in a few moments, I'm going to enter his resignation letter into the record, because it's instructive. In his resignation, he says that for the last 13 years, he's tried to ensure the efficiency and effectiveness of the science and the public health. And he says at the end of his letter, however, it has become clear that truth and transparency are not desired by the secretary, but rather he wishes subservient confirmation of his misinformation and lies. I've been trying to figure out for the last couple of weeks what exactly the end goal is inside of HHS, what exactly the end goal is inside of FDA, what exactly the GOP's theory of MAHA, of Make America Healthy Again, is. Because today you want to take a vote on dismantling Medicaid. Your president is mass firing thousands of public health officials, including the people who make our drugs, our medications, our food, our cosmetic safety. Your president has announced yesterday that he wants to put tariffs on pharmaceuticals, and you're going after Social Security and Medicaid by dismantling the offices and the services and programs through DOGE that actually serve the people of this country. So I don't understand it. I don't understand how this serves the public interest. Dr. Kessler, I am very grateful that you are here today. You are a legend. You are so well known across the public health space, and I know you're not currently serving in this administration, but help us understand the scope and the scale and why the American people need to be paying attention to what's happening inside the agency right now.
20 cents of every consumer dollar is spent on a product that FDA oversees. All our foods, essentially, right? Except meat and poultry, USDA does that. All our drugs, all cosmetics, our blood supply, our medical devices, our radiological, many of our radiological devices. The agency is absolutely essential for the safety of the American family, right? It's also absolutely key for our competitiveness, right? I mean, I am concerned, right, that China's going to beat us scientifically, you know, if we're not careful with all these cuts that are going on. But the reason I'm concerned about that, it's not about China. It's about the health of us.
And Dr. Kessler, I want to end with this note. As Vera Rosenthal was leaving the department after being fired by the secretary, she said, people are going to die from these cuts. I am not being an alarmist. The day after they announced these mass firings and cuts, pharmaceutical prices tanked on the market, and that was before tariffs. And that's because the ability to get life-saving drugs to market, the ability to save American lives, the ability to get
gentlelady's time is expired.
To our people.
Gentlelady's time is expired.
On having a functioning.
Gentlelady's time is expired. I now recognize Mr. Higgins from Louisiana.
If they do not have
the gentlelady's time is expired.
I am
the
sorry,
gentlelady's
Madam
time is
Chairwoman,
expired.
But the American people.
The gentlelady's time has expired.
Miss
Stansberry. Miss Stansberry, the gentlelady's time is expired. No, you're lying to the American people.
I'm sorry, madam.
You are lying to the American people.
The American people need to understand their health is at risk, and this is a five-alarm emergency.
Mr. Higgins from Louisiana is now recognized.
I yield back.
The gentleman yields. I just want to clarify something that's been said. There's an enormous difference between state licensed compounding pharmacies compounding drugs on FDA's shortage list and illegal drug manufacturers making counterfeit drugs that they sell on TikTok. We must root out illegal drug manufacturers while ensure pharmacies have the ability to respond to drug shortages. Just wanted to clear that up. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes for questioning, and I'm going to speak on behalf of a community of people that here in America that largely get ignored on an extremely important issue, and that's the issue of vaccines. And while we're talking about the FDA losing the trust of Americans, there's a very important reason why for that. And I have to recognize autism rates. Now, anytime you mess with people's children, this is getting to the heart of a family. And, you know, in the 1980s, 1 to 4 out of every 10,000 individuals had autism. 20 years ago, it was 1 in 150. And just recently, the rate has been said to be 1 in 36. But today, there was a study that just came out of 12 million children ages 5 to 8. And it has been released by the Children's Health Defense that the autism rate is now 1 in 33. I mean, we're talking about something that cannot be ignored anymore. This is a crisis, and people are losing their children. They're watching their children go from being happy, active, babbling, growing, reaching milestones to completely disappearing. Completely disappearing. And parents over and over and over again point to vaccines. And they are called conspiracy theorists, they're dismissed, and they are completely ignored. And this cannot be ignored anymore. This is a crisis, and we are losing our children. And this cannot be allowed. Let's talk about another reason why the FDA has lost all trust from Americans, and we can talk about the COVID vaccines. Emergency use authorization was given for these vaccines, and the FDA took approximately 21 days to give it for the Pfizer BioNTech mRNA vaccine. Moderna, the emergency use authorization was given in 18 days, 18 days. And then for Johnson & Johnson, it was given in 23 days. Now, this comes after typically vaccine development approval takes 10 to 15 years, but for these vaccines for COVID, it was given, the emergency use was given in a matter of days, and then full approval was given in months. Now, what has been the result of that? Another thing and people that have been ignored. These are the VAERS reports. Now, there's 1,662,426 VAERS reports. And it is listed here that there are 38,541 deaths, 220,494 hospitalizations, 156,527,000 urgent care, 17,913 Bell's palsy, 5,175 miscarriages, 22,247 heart attacks, 28,908 myocarditis, 77,311 permanently disabled. And these are people reporting themselves, and no one seems to give a damn. And this is why the people do not trust the FDA, along with the myriad of reasons that has been given today. And it's unbelievable. And at the same time, medicines that have been trusted for years, like ivermectin, one of the safest drugs, was called horse paste and has been one of the best effective treatments against COVID. Now, Mr. Kessler, did you object when Dr. Marks forced out the two top vaccine scientists at the FDA, Mr. Gruber and Dr. Gruber and Dr. Krause, due to their opposition of mandating booster shots? Did you object to that?
I had enormous respect.
Did you object, yes or no? Yes or no? I have a little time left. Yes or no?
No, but Madam Chair, may I respond? May I please respond?
You did not object. You did not object.
I had enormous respect for Dr. Marks.
Well, I'm glad that you do, but you didn't object to him being removed when he said the booster shot should not be mandated, and people that have been vaccinated with COVID-19 are the people that keep getting COVID-19. And the people with the booster shots keep spreading and getting COVID-19. No, this is my time. Where people like me with natural immunity don't get it and don't spread it around.
Madam Chair, may I please respond?
No, this is my time, Dr. Kessler, and my time has expired. So I now recognize the ranking member. Oh, Mr. Min has made it. I now recognize Mr. Min from California for 5 minutes.
I'd like to hear Dr. Kessler's response to that last question.
Thank you so much.
Right off the bat, Representative Stansberry hits the nail on the head. This is the Oversight Committee, not a podcast for big pharma lobbyists, not a Fox News panel. It's supposed to hold the executive branch accountable. Yet instead of investigating the catastrophic dismantling of our public health infrastructure, Republicans on the committee are parroting talking points from fringe groups and industry-funded organizations. Stansberry is absolutely right. Asterisk 3, 500 FDA employees being fired asterisk is not just bureaucratic noise. That's your drug safety, your food inspections, your medical devices, your baby formula oversight. Asterisk on star. And when RFK Jr. comes in promising to axe 10,000 more from HHS, that's not draining the swamp. That's lighting it on fire and walking away. Now, this is chilling. Dr. Peter Marks, one of the top vaccinologists in the world, resigning because, in his words, truth and transparency are not desired by the secretary. Friends, that's not just a bureaucrat quitting. That is a whistleblower. And it confirms what many of us on the left already know. Asterisk, asterisk, this administration is prioritizing ideology over science, asterisk, asterisk, and it's putting American lives at risk. Let me be clear. Dismantling the FDA and gutting HHS in the middle of a global health crisis and increasing climate disasters is not policy. It's sabotage. She quoted another official who warned, and I quote, "People are going to die from these cuts." This isn't hyperbole, folks. This is a veteran public servant raising the alarm. And yet, what did Republicans do in response? They heckled her, cut her mic, accused her of lying. This is what speaking truth in a room full of cowards looks like. The pharmaceutical market tanked the day after these cuts were announced. Wall Street knows what's coming. But more importantly, Main Street is going to feel it. When medicine gets more expensive, when food safety gets worse, when outbreaks go unchecked because the scientists aren't there anymore. And then came the chaos. When Representative Stansberry ran over time, the chair scrambled to shut her down. The Republicans started yelling. And you know why? Because she was right. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene, because of course, jumped in with her usual barrage of anti-vaccine conspiracy theories, misinformation about autism, and cherry-picked numbers from VRS. Let's be clear, VRS is a self-reporting system, not verified medical evidence. Any honest public health expert will tell you that. What she's doing here is fear-mongering. She's exploiting the pain of families with autistic children and weaponizing it against science, against medicine, and against reason. And yet, she accuses others of spreading misinformation? Give me a break. She tries to trap Dr. David Kessler into admitting wrongdoing, but all she does is show how little she understands the basic function of federal science agencies. She attacks booster shots, natural immunity, and claims vaccinated people are the ones spreading COVID. That's not patriotism. That's reckless. And it's dangerous. Let me say this loud and clear. Astra's patriotism is not tearing down the institutions that keep Americans safe. It's strengthening them. Asterisk. Real patriots don't cheer when scientists resign. Real patriots don't lie about vaccines to score political points. And real patriots don't sit silent while lives are being put at risk by radical ideology. Representative Stansberry showed what it means to fight for the people. She stood up in that room, full of chaos, and told the truth. And in return, she got shouted down, disrespected, and ignored. But guess what? So if you believe in public health, in science, in basic human dignity, Astra stand with her star. Let's keep showing up, keep organizing, keep voting, and let's build an America that works for all of us, not just the rich, not just the loudest, and definitely not just the conspiracy theorists. Thanks for watching The People's Voice. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you as fired up as I am about this? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, Astros keep fighting, keep loving, and keep the faith. America belongs to the people. Asterisk.